welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I give you a story titled, Wife wanted an open relationship. Now after she's tried it, she wants to call it off. I have not had a chance to try it yet. How should I feel or react about this? And a shout out to Kyle for sending in this story. And guys, this story is no other way to describe it but a giant train wreck. And ultimately about a husband who's divorcing his wife, rightfully so, after she wanted the open relationship. And of course, you're going to see how the second she had it, all of a sudden she doesn't want him to have it anymore. And this guy eventually is done. And this is a classic point that these things don't work. And I did a story yesterday about how it was working with the parents, but didn't work out because their kid found out about it. Well, here we are with the thing not working out with the couple. And makes the point, guys, these do not work. Don't even waste your time with it. And yet, it's always funny when the wife wants these things and things don't work out, and then they want to stop the husband from having it. And he's like, nope, I'm done. This is what we have here. Now, this story actually, guys, is pretty old. To my knowledge, I don't think I covered this before, but I could be wrong, but it doesn't sound familiar. So that's why I'm covering it. So it starts off, says here, bear with me as I attempt to remain as unbiased as possible. Yeah, like that's going to happen, dude. About 2 weeks ago, after a series of strenuous and difficult times in our relationship, particularly revolving around the SEX, my wife decided she wanted to try an open relationship. It is important to know a few things, although I won't and don't have time to write the entire thing out. First up, my wife has consistent fidelity issues. Then why are you still married to her? Smack! This guy... well, you'll see. She claims or thinks she is a mild nympho or just hyper sexual. She says in verbatim words, it's not you, you're great, I just don't think one man will ever really fully satisfy me there. Okay, well then no woman will satisfy me and you're not getting my paycheck. We're getting divorced. Sure. At first, I was absolutely appalled. However, I tried to keep an open mind as we thought it out over the next few days. At first, when I agreed to it, it was conditional. There were a certain amount of rules. Smack, smack, smack for going along with this. Dude, you're getting permission to cheat. And know that probably monkey branch. And this person with fidelity issues, as she said, or you said, is making the rules. This should be good. But let's listen to the rules. Rule number 1. No one from our past as to avoid redevelopment of intimacy. Rule number 2, no one in our car or home or space we share together as a couple. Rule number 3, don't make the other person or our son suffer via schedule to make time for other individuals. Family still first. They have a kid. I forgot about that. Great. For all we know, it's the one from the story from the other night, but I don't think it is. Number 4, don't ask, don't tell. Don't lie to me if I ask, but for the most part, let's mind our own business. Well, that's probably will be helpful, but good luck with that. Rule number 5, make sure your new friends understand their place in the world because you told them up front your intentions and where they stand within that structure. I shouldn't have to defend mine or her honor. Rule number 6, that I absolutely wouldn't accept her going home with men she met at the strip club she works at. Oh yeah, she's an exotic dancer. Good Lord, this is getting crazier and crazier. He married an exotic dancer. And she has fidelity problems and thinks he's a nympho and wants to do this. Shocker. What other little skeletons are in her closet? I'm sure there's a lot. After a while, I came to realize that with the exception of a few parts, the rules were counterintuitive and kind of irrelevant. Well, they came from her, dude. Did you have any rules? Did you, adjust any of these things or just blindly go along with it? What difference does it make if she sleeps with someone from her past versus some new guy? Is it really better or worse for her to have SEX only once per person and therefore skyrocket her body count? Or has she repeated SEX with some of the same individuals, which could potentially lead to the development of emotional ties to said man? It doesn't really matter. What matters is you're a married man and other dudes are going to be piping down your wife. And you have a son and she's going to be out if she's not at the club dancing. I don't know how old the kid is, but she's going to be out with other guys. What the hell's the matter with you? Well, I told her that other than things based on courtesy, i.e. don't have SCX at our house or in the spaces we utilize as a family, or take a shower and brush your teeth post-intercourse and before you cuddle or kiss me or son, the rules seem to be a moot point. A day later, she comes home 2.5 hours after she got off work. Like I said, don't ask, don't tell. So I left myself to my assumptions. The next morning, we were having casual conversation about whatever. She looks up and says she did it and how she feels so guilty, even if she was allowed, and a whole lot more of the following of those lines. Well, she didn't waste any time, did she? Like the next day or the next night or the same day she brought it up, boom. Shocker. She probably had that person in mind, or she's already hooking up with that guy. I asked if she wants to stop this open relationship. She didn't speak at all. The look on her face said, part of me does, part of me doesn't. To be completely honest, the vibe I got was how much she realized what she was going to feel if I had SCX with another woman, but that she was reluctant to strip her own rights to extramarital intercourse. So already she's realizing, he could actually meet somebody else. She wants to be able to have her fun, but he can't. In order to try and extract her true sentiments or intentions, I boiled down my question. I said to her, why don't you want the open relationship? She responded, I don't want you to have SCX with another girl. I felt this guilty over me doing it, so I know how it will be when you do it for me and you. Oh, okay, so she doesn't want him to do it because she knows how guilty he'll feel. So she wants to, save him from that guilt and pain by saying, you can't hook up with other women, but I can hook up with other dudes. Wow. Well, they say you in relationships, you're there to give, huh? Mind you, she's cheated on me several times. Smack, and you're still married to her, you bonehead? Although not always intercourse, she claims never intercourse because I've never been able to prove that, but I prove oral, for example. So there's a complete reason to assure me. Oh, okay, so because it wasn't the full 9 yards, it was just oral, then that's an excuse. Dude, really? This is not her first extramarital affair. Okay, I said to her, so why do you want an open relationship? She responded, because I feel like I can't mess up, that I can't lose you over cheating on you again because I'll more than likely F it up again. And because I feel as though you want it or that it isn't fair, no kidding. So in other words, she needs an open relationship because otherwise she's not going to be able to control herself and she'll cheat on him. But if it's an open relationship, well, she's not cheating. Yeah, woman logic, hoe logic. Now keep in mind, I haven't had SCX with anybody. This seems unfair to me. Well, it is, dude. But you know what's even more unfair? Being in this marriage. But that's on you. Not necessarily due to the eye for eye mentality, but because she experienced it immediately and wants to call it off before I even had a chance to try it. I went into this with an open mind despite my initial feelings. Now I've allowed another man to have SCX with my wife, and she's telling me she doesn't want it anymore. Seems hardly fair. From a perspective, she got a get-out-of-jail-free card and wants to cut mine up before I can do anything. Dude, how many signs, how many things does she have to do for you to wake up and realize this is a disaster? I mean, what the hell's the matter with you? Why'd you marry her? But guys, never-ending supply of men out there like this. But we hear these stories to learn, and not to mention be entertained that there are a lot of effing wackos out there. In response to her 2 questions, I told her I was going to need time to think about it, think about how I feel with the situation and what I wanted to do about it. Okay, on to his update. Timeline-wise, we are concurrent with me writing the original post. I'm obviously having many of the thoughts you are all posting here. No, I'm not oblivious to my screwing up. Never have been. I've tried to be slow and patient and loving to my wife the last 3 years based on a few moral principles of mine. I made a commitment, and why I understand she did as well as broke hers. And I cannot control how others keep their word. However, I can control how I keep mine. Dude, you don't owe her your word. You don't owe her your loyalty because she's been nothing but disloyal to you. Also, she struggles with a very legitimate and clinically recognized depression and anxiety. Oh, okay. Then she gets a pass for everything she's done. How about she goes to a freaking doctor about that? Not to say these have served as an excuse or a buy for her, but then again, my patience has been taken for foolery, and therefore, yeah, they kind of have been an excuse. In the midst of struggling with my emotions between my moral compass, my disgusting marriage, and my somehow surprisingly successful parenthood, I decided to post here and more or less confirm my thoughts. Well, tonight, as she headed for work, and yes, I'm going to paraphrase here for the sake of my already gargantuan post, she basically said that I need to have my decision for her by the next time we spoke. Whether that means I stay up for her to get home, or I wait and speak to her when she gets up mid-afternoon tomorrow. She's laying an ultimatum on him. She's got some nerve, but then again, she knows she's a serial cheater and he sticks around, so she knows she can push him around and give him ultimatums and terms, and he's going to go for it. This is the type of crap that happens when a man doesn't act like a man and the woman has respect for him. This kind of tells me she wants me to leave. I know how much she's going to suffer when I do because believe it or not, it's actually pretty apparent she loves me and our family. Yeah, dude, I can tell through her actions just how much she loves you, how much she cares. Are you out of your mind? Have you been taking stupid pills? Unfortunately for her, she's a chronic cheater and lacks self-control. You're making excuses for her, dude. What the hell's the matter with you? Anyway, she says her anxiety can't handle being left on this unknown status. However, she also says she isn't willing to continue the open relationship, so that if I chose that, then default, I am leaving her. She wanted to have the open relationship. Here's what happened. Either she was hooking up with somebody and hoping it would go further, or was planning to, did her thing, and probably made her move, and the guy that she probably was trying to monkey branch to denied her, turned her away, and now she wants to stay with this guy. That's probably what it was about. And now she's giving an ultimatum. So I have two choices here from her, and I don't believe she wants me to leave, but I do believe she wants to get it over with one way or the other. I just found it funny that even after all this, she managed to find at least one way to manipulate the final moments to be on her terms. It makes me pseudo-sad for her because I don't even know if she realized she's doing it at this point. Smack! I probably should have smacked him 50 more times already. Dude, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's a pro. She knows exactly how you're going to react. She's always 3 or 4 chess moves ahead of you. Not to mention her poker is way better than yours. Dude. Now, we're about done here, and our guy finally wakes up, but the suffering guy's got to go through to wake up. He says, as these minor little edits and updates, he says, I feel it may be important for context reason to include that she utilized Tinder to test this open relationship. Well, shocker, that's usually the place to go. Tinder's a cesspool. Small grammatical and spelling errors corrected. Now, here's another update, and this is actually from years later after he did this post. Finally, where the guy has grown a brain. He says, it's been several years now, and many of you have reached out to me in support. I want to thank you all that you did. Things did eventually work out. I left her not long after these events for pretty obvious reasons. Thank God. He finally woke up. I think actually what happened was that Reddit was tearing him a new one, so he finally took his head out of his butt and saw the big picture. I filed for divorce, and although the divorce was a 2-year-long escapade with many small caveats throughout that time, in the end I was granted full custody of my son, and the marriage was absolved. Man, that says a lot, that he got full custody. Either she gave full custody because she doesn't care, I wouldn't be surprised, or the family courts gave it all to him. Shocker when given her a line of work and probably other things associated with that. Because they bend over backwards to make sure the kid goes to the mom at least part of the time. That says a lot. I gotta wonder if she just signed away her rights. I don't know. Thank you all again to you all who reached out in support. I cannot thank you enough, and although my life continues to have its challenges, I'm no longer in that toxic, poisonous situation. Well, that's good, and thank God for the kid. But good God Almighty, all he had to go through and suffer, and all the excuses he made for, oh, she's depressed, oh, she's chronic this. No, she's a selfish a-hole who had your number. She's a con artist, okay? She's a pathological liar. I can go on and on. But I'm glad, at least in the end, he woke up to reality. And if he wasn't going to do it for himself, do it for the poor kid. Now, I'm hoping he learns his lesson and doesn't get involved with someone like this or make excuses for other women like that in the future, because otherwise, a guy like this will be right back in a similar situation. He may not be with or married to an exotic dancer a second time, but he'll be with someone that behaves just like her. Hopefully he learns. But anyhow, guys, again, this open marriage, open relationship things do not work. And it's only a matter of time before it just blows up. It always cracks me up that overwhelmingly it's the wife's idea, and then she opens it and she wants to close it right before the husband has a chance to have his fun and games, and that really is when all goes to hell in the handbasket. So ultimately, good for this guy. I'm glad he woke up, but my God, he had to go through a lot. So we hear these stories to shock ourselves, to hear what goes on out there, and to learn. All right, guys, as ever today, be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.